Stranger Things.
What was that?
That's a clapper. Clacker.
Oh, I know, but Hello, all of you wonderful people out there in podcast land. Welcome to another episode of Black and White Reviews. My name is Will.
My name is Lee.
My name is Chuck.
And this week we are going to be discussing Stranger Things Season 4, Episode 6, titled...
Yes.
The
Dive.
The
The
Dive.
I
Yeah.
wonder why. Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you why it's called The Dive.
Oh, will you?
I've had to watch this episode 4 times in the past month. I
Yeah.
thought we were doing this episode, and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So you... Listen, you, Chuck, when you watch episode 7, you will understand why I'm so annoyed. It's like... It's like you're hungry, you haven't had anything to eat in like, I don't know, what you would understand, 40 days. and you get to your favorite pizza place and you get up to the window, and as soon as you get up there and you're like, okay, I know what I'm going to get. I'm so excited. They turn the sign around and it says closed and they tell you to scram. Yeah, that's what happens here. That's what's happening. I am so hungry and I've been waiting for 3.5 seasons to get to episode 7. And here we are now, still stuck on episode 6. I wish you guys did it while I was gone. I so wish you did, so I could have skipped it. Anyway, I do want to say, we've hit 300 episodes. That's kind of a big deal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
For the podcast?
Like I got the Yes.
Oh, wow.
I didn't realize we've been doing it so long.
300
at this point. It's like
episodes.
300 episodes. This is
Okay.
probably like 301, or depending on when things came out.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we've never really tracked the number of episodes. We've always been like, we've been kind of doing this officially since The Mandalorian came out, and that's
Yeah.
pretty much all we've tracked. But we were
Wow.
doing stuff even before The Mandalorian. It was just you and I on YouTube talking about this, that, and whatever.
Yeah.
Equilibrium.
Equilibrium.
Oh.
So, yeah, I just figured that was something
That's
big to
awesome.
announce. Like, hey, so thanks to everybody out there who's been like paying attention to us, who's been following us. If it's been a little while or a lot of while, we appreciate you guys sticking around and listening to us talk about mindless, dumb things that do not
Nonsense.
save us in life. They are not beneficial to our,
I wish I knew that we were doing our 300th episode, because if I knew that, like, this is our 300th, I would have suggested Equilibrium.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well,
Okay.
we didn't know when it was, and
No.
Or Alone in the Dark.
Yeah.
or Butterfly Effect too.
Butterfly Effect 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Anyway, I just
Thank
thought that was
you.
a big deal. So
Wow.
thanks everybody for sticking
300.
around and for
Really?
caring. Yeah,
Wow.
300.
That is
300.
Yeah,
that is
not that horrible Zack Snyder
299
film.
more than I thought we would do, if I'm being perfectly honest with you, Lee. That's awesome. That's really awesome.
So for those who don't know what how it all started, Will and I have known each other since we were like 7, 8 years old.
Somewhere in there.
And the idea, like, we would get together every time we got together since we were that age, we would get together and we would talk about music and we would talk about movies and
Yeah.
we would listen and we would watch movies.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, it was like Batman Returns and Beavis and Butthead Do America. It was like the first time we hung out. We just sat there and made jokes.
Yeah.
That being said,
Cool.
we've all seen the SNL sketch, right, with Ryan Gosling and Mikey Day. I know it's a huge thing. Everyone's talking about it, but have you
Mhm.
guys actually watched it?
I haven't.
It's actually it's only funny because nobody could keep a straight face just because these guys had like the makeup, the exposed gums. It's ridiculous. And the main person who was trying to run it, like, I'll say this, SNL has gone way downhill. The writing is garbage.
Yeah.
And you watch the sketch, and the sketch itself is not very funny, but the fact that they can't contain themselves because you got Mikey Day playing Butthead and
Oh.
Ryan Gosling playing Beavis, but the thing is, they're just random people in the audience that just happen to look exactly like Beavis and Butthead, and they don't know each other. Just kind of like they're kind of scattered in the audience, but they're wearing like Death Rock on their shirt and everything with the wig, the pompadour. So it's like a completely uncanny resemblance to them with fake noses and stuff and the exposed gums. but yet they're like, oh, no one ever told me that I looked like anybody. Sorry, I'm just kind of here. I'm really interested in this conversation, and
Right.
that's it. Like that's it. But at one point they start giggling, and and it's
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
but the thing is, like, they clearly have no idea. So it's huge. Like they showed up to like the red carpet for something dressed like that too. So it's all over the place. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's one of the worst character breaks, on SNL in years. But the thing is, the writing's been garbage lately. So the only reason why it's funny is because just the situation itself. Anyway,
Anywho,
that all being said, Will and I talked about that, and then years later we said, hey, let's open up a record store. And this is pre-kids for me. And we went back and forth on, what are we going to do? How are we going to do it? We wanted to have like live music in the place. We wanted to get all, actual records. Basically, our mutual love for the movie High Fidelity was pushing us to wanting to actually have our own record store and just have conversations like that and just be those guys.
Looking back on that, it was an absolute pipe dream.
hey, we were doing real research, and
we were doing real research, but then like the realization of like, well, there's this thing in the way.
To start this up.
No, I wasn't going to say that. There's this big thing in the way called life that really wouldn't allow it.
Well, as soon as I found out we were having our first kid, I was like, so yeah, this isn't gonna happen.
Of course not.
So, but the thing was, we landed on the name Black and White Records.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if you've ever seen us, you can kind of see why it makes sense.
You get it.
I don't get it.
You don't get it?
You don't get it?
I
All
don't
right.
get it.
That's because you're right there in the middle.
Yeah.
But the point is, that was it, Black and White Records. And then Will came up to me and said, or spoke to me, texted me, called me, whatever, and said, hey, we get together and we watch movies. We have we eat food. We have. It was the night we saw Terminator. Watch movies.
It was the night we saw Terminator. Before the movie was about to begin, I whispered it to you, like, "Hey, how about this?"
Yeah. That was one of the worst experiences in the theater, right next to the Chunkies. That I remember. I was so hungry. Anyway, I got a free movie out of complaining about that. So, Black and White Commentaries is where it came up. And that was the beginning of what this was. Let's talk about movies and see if people care. And it just grew into it. Oh, I mean, hey, some people cared, I guess. We had some type of following.
It's a slow but steady increase. We're gonna make it.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it.
And all it was like, it was basic stuff on YouTube. We had like an image on YouTube while we talked. We didn't have any video stuff. We didn't have anything professional going on. It was just basic mics, and that was that. And then it grew, and Chuck, you came in on our first episode of Mandalorian, and then just kind of kept coming back, and then here we are. Now
I was just visiting because you're like, hey, we want a third person just to kind of talk Star Wars, and you like Star Wars, and then you came back and you were like, people really enjoyed having the third voice there because it actually gave for a deeper conversation.
Yes, it works,
and then. The
third voice here works a whole lot better than when it was just Lee and I. There's like there's a constant revolving conversation, which Chuck and I were doing the episode. We were talking about like how the podcast began and everything amongst some other things, and I said I've had this sneaking suspicion for a while that the only reason, that and he's your friend, and you and I have grown to become friends, and I'm appreciative of that. I think the only reason why you wanted to like suggest somebody else come on is because you got sick of fighting with me. I think you wanted somebody else like around that was gonna be like, well, he's on my side and he'll side with me, and I'll be able to show Will what's what. And I've had this suspicion for so long, so I just but it works. It works. The third person works.
So,
and now I'm on Will's side more than
true.
No.
There are so many movies. There are so many movies where I'm like, I think Will's like, there's no way Chuck's gonna like this movie, and I'm like, I love this movie. He's like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah. We should rename the podcast to Two Wrongs and a Right.
No, we shouldn't.
Two wrongs and a right.
Yeah, because we're both wrong and he's right.
Exactly. Yeah. No, but in all sincerity, like the whole 300 episode thing, I think it's awesome. I think that is awesome. And obviously,
listen, we're done talking about Zach. Okay, so let's move on.
I love doing this with both of you. I wouldn't give this up for anything in the world at this point. So it's fun.
Aw.
I don't care if I never draw a dime. This is fun for me. It's a great outlet. It's a great unwind for the end of the week or the beginning of the week, however you want to look at it. I enjoy it.
Right in the middle.
Right, yeah, kind of. Yeah, right in the middle.
The end in the beginning.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Something like that. Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe to commemorate 300 episodes, maybe after we do our next movie or in a couple of weeks, maybe we should just do Equilibrium.
That's my next suggestion, Equilibrium.
Is it really? Okay.
We'll no, actually, I was gonna. I was throwing up in the air because we've been talking about it. Get your thoughts, people who are listening. Throw your thoughts up on there.
Yes.
But because we've been talking about Chernobyl, we've been talking about Civil War, which these series will come out. I was thinking.
Oh no.
Schindler's List.
Oh. Okay.
Ooh.
Well, I think I'll pardon you.
Ooh.
I'll pardon you.
It
would be a tough one to go through, but
no, I'm up for it.
I think it would be interesting.
I've only seen it once.
Ditto.
I've seen it like 2 or 3, and that's
I've only
it's
seen
a
it
hard
once.
movie to watch.
So I think, and this is probably my first experience with something like this. I think Schindler's List was hyped up way too much for me, and when I watched it, it was like, oh, okay, this is you're this is a war movie, just told from a different perspective. Okay, so I don't know. I don't know. I'll watch it again though. I'm up for it.
Yeah,
I've been thinking about it, but
I'm up for it.
I'm up for it, but it would be a tough movie to watch though.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
I think if we do it, we just have to make sure we talk about Liam Neeson and his stand-up comedy.
No.
Yes, he's always making lists. That's why they got him for the role of Oscar Schindler.
No.
Stand-up comedy.
So to segue out of that whole thing,
Slapstick.
Back into Stranger Things.
Yes, Chuck,
please.
we're just gonna let you run with this because we don't have anything to say.
Yeah. I want to keep Lee's contribution to a minimum just because of his excitement.
Yeah.
And out of fear that you might say something that you shouldn't.
I'm just gonna shove food in my mouth. Have at it.
Go ahead, Chuck. What did you think about this episode? How you feeling?
So I like this episode, but this episode for me is very filler.
Yeah.
It's just leading to the next thing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Shut it, Lee.
Yeah.
Can you mute your mic while you're
Well, wait, I hit solo.
No, I mean it's still good. The story's good. The character building is still there. This quasi relationship between Harrington and Dustin, like I don't get it. Like it's weird. I hate you. I don't hate you. We're friends. We're not friends. I told you so. It's this way.
Yeah.
Nancy and Steve, like, come on, stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. All that kind of stuff.
Wait, when did Steve get so hairy?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's all very filler. I wish that they focused more on. I wish the primary focus, like when we talked about when she went to, was it Chicago? When she went to go meet 8. Was it Chicago?
Yes.
Yeah, it was. I wish they did something like that here, and they just focused on her for the majority of the episode, just to push along her training so that we could get to what's next.
That's not this episode. That's not what this episode's about. This episode's about everybody else and what they're doing.
I know that. That's why I'm saying I wish that's what this was. But now that's episode 7, so that's going to be great. Thank you, Lee. Minimum.
I didn't say that. I just said that's not what this episode's about.
You said that's not this episode, which infers it's next episode.
Not necessarily. Sorry, I was choking on a cookie. I didn't get to finish my statement.
Oh, you finished it well enough. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know.
You
you can't. You just can't.
You
can't.
You have to be like the worst abuser of using semantics as a shield. You do that better than anybody I know.
Thank you.
You
do what I
can. You are king at that. It's like I didn't say it.
I didn't actually say it. I inferred it, but I didn't say it. Therefore, I'm okay. You're talking to people who rip apart movies. Who can read through that kind of stuff. Like they died off camera, so they're still alive.
I didn't say it.
That's not this episode. You're right. It's the next one, the one we can't wait for.
How about we just stop talking right now and just watch the episode?
We'll do a live recording of us watching episode 7.
Let's do a reaction video.
I will stay and watch it with you afterwards.
We should do a reaction video. And if we were to do a reaction video, it would piece episode 7. Oh man.
Yeah, I'm
That would be a 2-parter. We have one reaction and then one discussion.
Yeah, so
like the next week.
So it's filler. I think there are some funny parts to this episode. The Russian thing needs to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like big time.
Yeah. You can kind of
like
see.
Last episode they gave a way out, and this again. So this season, there was a way out, and then they drew him back into it.
Yep.
Last episode there was a way out. This episode they're drawing him back in. Stop it.
Yep.
Stop it.
Yep.
Just
yeah.
Stop it.
Yes.
Don't care.
Nope.
I don't care.
Neither do I.
Ivan, is that his name? Ivan has no Russian accent.
Enzo? Yeah.
No.
Come on, Enzo.
No Russian accent. Gone. Yuri.
Yuri.
Sure.
It's a Yuri.
Sure. Sure.
It's a Yuri.
Great. Don't care.
He says, hello, Enzo. It's a Yuri.
The fact that this high school swimmer can stay underwater for 19 hours is great. You know, that's fine.
19 hours?
Yeah, the fact that he swam to the bottom of this lake.
He said 3 minutes, and he was under there for maybe a minute when we saw.
I'm sorry, he swam to the bottom of the lake. It would take a minute to get to the bottom.
So you didn't do the
and
thing.
And then while he's down there, he's swimming around looking for. And then no.
You didn't do the thing.
Can I ask this?
You didn't do the thing where you hold your breath to see if you can beat him.
I did, and I couldn't. Yeah, but it was cut.
But you're swimming underwater as well. He's like you're moving around. You're not just sitting there watching it going.
Sure, but
still. He's 30 yards down. He's 30 yards down.
So here's my question about anything underwater. Somebody's swimming around underwater for an extended period of time.
Yes.
During that entire time, they can see what's underwater without goggles. I'm sorry, but maybe something's wrong with me, but it's like trying to look through Vaseline. When you're underwater.
No, it's not.
No,
it's easy.
It's easy to see. You can't
unless it's chlorinated.
Going on.
If it's chlorinated, then I won't do it. But the ocean, a lake, I'll do it all day long.
But you can't really identify things. It's just like there's a black blob, and there's a thing here.
You need to get your eyes checked.
I think.
Okay, maybe something's wrong with me. I don't know.
I'm not a great. I won't be great at this at all. My eyes are pretty bad. But
yeah,
I can see.
I also don't think it would be that difficult to see a big red glowing thing at the bottom. I think that would be pretty easy to see. Like, oh my god!
Right. So you would think that while he's swimming down, he would swim right to the big red thing, not get down to the bottom and then be like, "Oh, what's that behind me?" Like I didn't see that. No, if there's one source of light. you would see that immediately.
This is true.
And you would just follow your way to it.
This is true.
That's what doesn't make any sense. And that's my point, is like, it's not like you're just underwater, just living down there and everything's fine. You can see everything. And you're like, oh, what's that, by the way? No. All you're going to do is be attracted to the light, shiny things. That's why you use light, shiny things to catch fish.
Yes.
Because you're underwater and shiny things stand out.
Yes.
That is all.
Outside of that, yeah. Yeah, I think this is the biggest filler episode. I do like what's going on with 11. I think that was the most interesting part of the entire episode.
Of course.
I love all of it. What's happening in her. So to me, it's very source code, in the sense that there are things that are happening in this that I don't think actually happened in her actual memories. I think that there is a part of her that is actually reliving the memory, but then still doing something that is present in the moment. And it's shifting what's going on.
You're thinking that her specific wording and responses are current, yet what happens in the past is still...
I think, like, even the conversation that she has with somebody, I think that
it didn't happen that way.
I don't think it happened that way in the beginning.
Yeah, see...
No, I don't.
I think that's just the way that they wanted to make the show. I'll be honest. I think that the way that they're doing it is just so she can play the part and not, like, you know, her artificially put on face on a little girl. You know, I think that's the only thing, is they did it this way.
I get that, but I don't think some of these conversations. I think some of these conversations is her subconscious now playing
making
it out
sense of it.
And making it bigger than making it different than what it was.
So that's like a butterfly effect.
This tank that she's in is very source code, with the monitors all around her sitting. It's very source code, playing with the memory, you know. And then he finds a way, like in source code, you know, he finds a way to change history because he went back in time.
I don't know about this, because I think it was pretty well established that she has to get it right in order to advance. That's why she kept looping in the room over and over and over again.
Right. She had to play through it.
Yeah, I think
she had to Nancy it.
Yeah, I think she has to play through the events that happen. I don't think she can change anything, otherwise it's just going to reset. We were introduced to that when she was first in this tank. How she kept looping in the room over and over and over again until she got it right, and then she was able to advance.
Yeah, but what does getting it right mean?
She could have
she could have a similar conversation, it just be more advanced, and it still kind of lead to the same outcome. So I don't know. Like, I think the majority of it is memories. I think there are just parts of it that are like her with the Plinko. I think that was something that actually happened.
Yeah.
I think the depth of the conversation with this orderly, I don't think that fully happened when she was 9 years old.
Okay, that's his theory.
Okay.
I don't think it makes sense to delve into it. That's his theory.
Neither do I. Okay, that's fine. But I can say that I disagree with it. I mean, no. I mean, we're at the point right now where the theories that you're having aren't answered all that much. Like that, like what you're suggesting right now could potentially carry over into the 5th season, where we get a little bit more information on that. Like,
maybe.
Does 11 have the power to change anything inside of this tank? You know what I mean?
I don't think she's changing anything.
No, I think it's more just the perception. Like I was saying before, it's like the outcome is still the same. She's not changing the future. It's just that you think that the way that she's interacting is different than how she originally did. It's just that she's kind of staying along the same track, so it's matching up.
Right.
I see that.
Okay. Yeah, so it's like the way that she has conversation. We'll get more to this.
Well, no,
so she can. So okay. So
she speaks a lot better.
Yes.
You know,
so for
than she
example,
did when she was a kid.
When she's in the room, she can go up to the camera and start asking questions, and it's not going to affect anything that happened. But her interaction with the orderly has to happen because it happened at one point.
Yeah, but I don't think the interaction was as in depth as it was portrayed.
I think
even when she was 9 or 10, she couldn't talk as fluent as she is now.
Yes, I agree with that, but I still think that the conversation, the information she gets from him
is the same.
To happen.
Yes.
That's the same.
It's just that her responses were probably a lot
interaction is way more in depth and it's different and it's more matured and it's all there
on her side.
On her side,
exactly.
Okay,
which is where I'm saying that I think her subconscious is playing with it a little bit more.
Agreed.
So I think some of it, from her perspective, is memories, and some of it is
her current responses.
Her current responses to this memory. Remembering it.
Okay, yes, I like that.
So
I agree. That's what the past few times rewatching it, that's what kept going through my head. So I agree. But it's not source code in the sense where she can change the past because she's there.
No, I'm saying source code in the sense that she's in this
situation.
Tank.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's in this tank and she's looking at all these monitors which are replaying memories.
Yeah, but from her modern mindset.
Yeah.
Correct. Yep. Exactly.
Okay.
Just like it wasn't his.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah. I'm on board
in source
with that.
code, he wasn't meant to change time. He was just trying to get information to help people.
Right.
And then he ended up finding a way to go back in time, which whatever. But well, come to find out, I guess there's talk of season 5 being time travel. So hey, why not use this as a segue into that?
Yeah, well, I mean,
make it source code.
Yeah, when the leader of the resistance shows back up because a T-101 is on the way down. Yeah, it's all gonna come together and make a lot of sense. I mean, how else are you gonna take down Skynet? You know, you need 11. She's T-11.
Ah.
But
I'm so worried about that. I am so worried about the show introducing time travel. I am so worried.
But if they do it this way, where she's going back and they're doing like a butterfly effect type thing, I'm not against it.
Neither
I'm not
am
against
I.
it.
Neither am
I. And I think that's the level of time travel we're talking here. Not like them like transporting somewhere, but more of a consciousness going back in time.
Right.
I'm all for that. I think that'd be pretty cool.
If Arnold comes in.
No, well, I'm not going exactly down that road, but I kind of am. Like, if there's anybody to play an adult version of 11, like, she'd be it.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, not really, because Sarah Connor has blue eyes.
Well, contacts.
They can give her contacts.
Come on.
Oh my goodness.
Sigourney Weaver makes more
sense.
You
don't bring in Linda Hamilton to do nothing, or to play a throwaway character. You don't do that.
True. True.
I think that would be a massive disservice. That's why I'm saying, like,
well, look what they did to Bob.
First, you get the information out that, you know, hey, we might do a little bit time travel thing, and now you have her literally like interacting with the past. So, and now all of a sudden we won't see it for another year Hamilton. Now. So I don't know. I would
have used somebody different.
Well, we're not going to see it for another year now because they're not even going to wrap shooting until early 2025.
I
would have used Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's disappointing. I was thinking we'd be seeing it early 2025, not wrap shooting.
Yeah.
I guess Millie Bobby Brown wanted to take a break so she can go to Disney World or something.
This is why I would have used Margot Robbie.
What? Okay.
That makes a whole lot of sense.
Uh-huh.
She'd be a great future 11.
I don't know. I don't think she's Knuff.
Hey, Millie Bobby Brown was trying to be that in the 3rd season.
So I mean, like, unless she's a future version of Max,
which doesn't make sense.
It could.
Well, I guess it's more believable in that sense, but
hey, she could be the future version of
I mean, they're both they both pull off the what did you just say? What did I miss?
I said that she could be the future version of Will. Not you.
Will Byers.
Will Byers.
You. Will Byers. You know.
Oh no.
He gets his chance with Mike.
Oh no. Oh. Oh dear. Oh, Oh, that'd be quite the interesting soap opera.
Oh my god.
Who is it now? Oh, it's Will Byers. No, it's Wilhelmina Byers.
That's wrong.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's wrong.
If they come back and they do that,
they're like they skip into the future and he's like married to her and he doesn't know, and like the secret of it comes out. Like, I never wanted to tell you, but
I'm really Will. They kill him off in this season.
Yeah.
Off screen. Then he comes back as Linda Hamilton.
That would be so stupid. I'd be so mad.
Oh dear.
Anyways, enough with the speculating. Lee already gave his thoughts about what he thought about the episode. He doesn't care. He can't wait till next week, and I don't want you to talk anymore. Yeah, I agree.
At all.
This episode is very much
muted,
very much filler, very much setting up for things that are going to happen. I do wish that there was a little bit more of 11. I like the separation of the characters, each having their own journey, but at the same time, jumping back and forth between all of them can feel like it's a little much. I think, you know what I mean? I would much prefer, like, this week we are going to focus heavily on like these two groups and like leave the third out, or like vice, and just continue on from the, I don't know. I think a lot of these characters would do good with a lot more screen time to like further. Yes. But yeah, this is very much a filler episode, getting ready for everything that's going to be happening, like as we wrap up the end of the last few episodes of the season.
And I'm fine with filler episodes because you need them to make up for the. But it's,
yeah,
nothing exciting happened, which I'm okay with that.
Really? Well, one thing. Well, there are a couple of exciting things that happen. There are a few. It's not completely a dud. We'll get into it, but there are some things that happen in this episode that I'm happy about.
Peanut butter.
Yeah. Peanut butter. Exactly.
Peanut
butter. I forgot what else I was going to say. I don't know.
Exciting things.
It is. Exciting things. Oh, you know what I was going to say? I don't know what it is this time around, this viewing for me, but for whatever reason, I'm starting to look at Dr. Brenner in a new light.
He's a good guy.
Not Agreed. A good guy.
No, but
not a bad guy either.
He is
a means to an end.
It's what the school for the gifted would be if it wasn't Xavier's but Magneto's.
You need to watch X-Men 97 and stop talking.
Stop. Why do you have to do that? I say a thing and you immediately jump to like, oh my God, stop. Stop.
Wait. He didn't say it though.
He didn't say it. You just brought up an IP.
About,
and I said you need to watch it.
Thank you.
That's all I said. You just need to watch it.
Thank you.
Don't bring up stuff if you don't want me to say, yeah, you need to watch it.
I'm supposed to wait a minute. Am I supposed to like automatically assume that I don't even know where to take that sentence.
I'm gonna ask you this, Will.
This coming from the guy. Hang on, no. This coming from the guy who for decades were like, I don't want to hear anything. Don't spoil it for me. You are always the first person to spoil something.
So I know that he didn't. So I want to ask you this, Will. I know Lee didn't quote unquote say anything, but when he's implying for you, when he's telling you to watch X-Men 97,
he just implied that I'm going to see an episode or some type of storyline where Xavier is in charge of the X-Men. That's what he just implied. So now I'm expecting to see it.
Where Magneto is in charge of it.
Where Magneto is in charge.
I never said that. I said you brought up X-Men, and all I said was you need to watch it.
He thought exactly what I thought, and I've already watched the first 3 or 4 episodes of the show.
Thanks, Lee.
And I kept my mouth shut.
Thank you, Lee. Anyways, no. Back to what I was saying. I have a better appreciation for this character because that's basically what it is. This is basically Magneto if Xavier was completely out of the picture. This is what he would be doing with the mutants. Like it's crazy. for that I never thought about, I never looked at him like that before. I always looked at him as, this guy's evil because he's
bad guy.
Yeah, this guy's a bad guy. Yeah. This guy's evil because he's doing weird experiments on kids. But then I took a step back and I'm like, well, wait a minute. And I had to ask myself, what's the difference between what he's doing here and what Xavier did training a bunch of kids to go kill? Like,
the difference would be, I was just thinking of that.
Well, Xavier trained the kids to keep peace. That was, he didn't train them to kill, where Magneto was training people to kill.
Well, that's the difference, is I think that a Magneto type character or a Brenner type character.
You know what? You're right. You're right. I take it back. Xavier taught them how to hone their abilities, and Cyclops is the one who taught them to go kill. I stand corrected. It's the same concept. Yeah. It's the exact same thing. I had to ask myself that. I'm like, there's really not a whole lot of difference between what Brenner is doing and loosely what Xavier did training a bunch of kids. And it's exactly what that school would look like if Magneto was in charge. And I stepped back. I was like, that's what they're going for. That's who this character is.
And that's the one difference is Owens is Xavier and Brenner is Magneto.
Yeah.
And when you look at it,
kinda,
the big difference is this. An Xavier type character is going to recognize the gift in you, and he's going to call it out of you.
Yes.
And if it takes a year, it takes a year. A Magneto or a Brenner character will see the gift in you, and they will drag it out of you in 2 months.
So this is basically, if you're
looking, he will have a more powerful army in a shorter period of time.
Yeah.
The difference, the downfall to that is you'll have less control. You'll have people who are like 11 who are like spazzing out.
That's what's special about Magneto. Magneto didn't want control over other mutants. He really did. If you want to leave and you want to go somewhere else, go ahead. I'm not going to hold you. Magneto wasn't ever going to keep anybody prisoner. That's the only difference I really see there.
I have to rewatch it, but was it First Class when Magneto like turns like completely, when Eric just like bail? Yeah. That's when he bails, and then Xavier gets shot and all that's fun.
Is
stuff. It? Yeah, that's basically what it is. So like that movie is kind of like what we're seeing here is the two, because they were both on the same side at that point, and you know, one was doing it this way and the other one was doing it that way. So yeah, True. I can see it there, but later on, not at all. They're very different. It's a very
but I mean, if you look at Magneto though, Magneto does have Magneto's only thing is, I want to
protect.
I want to protect the mutants.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. I mean, he has good cause for it. But Xavier has the same desire. He's just going about it differently.
They both have the same desire, but Xavier was harmony. His was all about harmony, and Eric's focus, or Magneto, Magnus, whatever you want to call him, Max, he had all those different names, was all about, you know, basically the mutants' rights. It was like rights for mutants, right for mutants.
Sure.
Right, the mutants need this, mutants are better, and they need to be protected, whereas Xavier, again, was just like, we just need to have harmony. Like, we just want to live in peace.
But I think that if you look at the world of X-Men, if the humans never attacked the mutants, Magneto would do nothing.
Probably not.
He wouldn't care.
Probably not.
He is a reaction to what to the fear of the humans, the Homo sapiens, that are attacking the mutants, and he's reacting to that.
And if I'm gonna get a little bit deeper on this, my and only my opinion, Xavier is an incredibly naive character, an incredibly flawed and naive character. So I mean, even if you are like dragging the powers out of somebody like by brute force, I mean, okay.
Which is what Brenner is doing.
Which is what Brenner is doing. And I can't believe that before this I never put that together for myself until this time around. And yeah.
But the thing is, what other choice do they have at this point? That's why they had to pull Brenner back into it.
True.
They don't have a choice because nobody else is going to be able to do it this way. And he has that, like, well,
very true.
We need to push. I mean, the whole conversation they have I think it's in this episode or this one and the next one. And the whole point is like she's either gonna sink or she's gonna swim, and we need her to swim. Like we just need her to go through.
No.
Like
I know the quote exactly.
Yeah.
The other scientist,
Owens
wants to pull her out of the tank. She's going to drown, blah, blah, blah. And Brenna's like, no, she's not. She's going to swim. So it's
right.
I don't know. This time around, me watching this, especially these last few episodes, I have a much better respect and understanding of this character than I did before. And I just wanted to put that out there. So I don't.
And I agree with you.
I don't
Watching
see
it again,
him. Yeah, I don't see him as the evil mastermind that I did my first or second time around. I see it completely different now. So there's that. That's one thing that the show kind of did for me right now. That's
but I definitely want to like now that I'm seeing it again in this light, I kind of want to go back and see him again in everything season? Leading up to it. Because he did. They really played him up to be the bad guy. And
just go back and watch this episode again.
No. How dare you?
Yeah.
I'd rather watch Passion in the Desert.
Oh, that's rough.
We should do that movie again. We should revisit that movie.
It's rough, like that.
You don't want to revisit that movie?
Not really. I don't want to watch that again.
Once is enough, huh?
Once is absolutely enough.
I've now watched it twice in my lifetime.
Congratulations.
I'd rather drink a bunch of paint in the desert than watch that movie again.
Really? If I watch that movie again, I'm going to wash my eyes with bleach.
That's a staple for this podcast. Are you kidding me?
The references are fantastic.
For those of you who haven't seen Passion in the Desert,
go watch it.
You need to watch it so you understand. I mean, you want to be on the inside. Geez, this is better than being a patron through Patreon. Just go watch that, and you'll finally understand all the inside jokes about this fantastic movie. Fantastic movie that Chuck has loved since childhood.
I have never loved this movie.
Passion in the Desert.
I had a passion for this movie.
All right.
That movie is one of the worst. I'm sorry. Talk about bad. That's a bad movie. Highlander: The Source was worse.
I think they're on par.
No,
I'd say they're about on an even. Yeah, they're right there. They're right there. Yeah.
Passion in the Desert didn't have a character climbing a set of stairs to nothing and just ascending to God status. So yeah, I'm gonna say Passion in the Desert might be a little bit better.
A little, not much.
Not by much.
It's not much better.
Not
but
by
it
much.
Still is better.
Not by much.
It's a pin. So spoiler territory.
There you go. Yeah, I was just about to say segue us in.
So with that being said, join us on patreon.com/blackandwhitereviews for the remainder of this riveting conversation. You can also find us on all of our social medias, YouTube and Instagram at Black and White Reviews 1866, and on Facebook at Black and White Reviews. Leave comments, give suggestions, give recommendations. We will take you up on your recommendations. If it's a bad movie, we will enjoy talking about it. We may not enjoy the movie, but we will enjoy talking about it. If it's a good movie, just make recommendations. We will watch it. Leave comments, share with your friends, pass the word along. And with that being said, we're going to hop right into
spoiler territory.
Spoiler territory.
All right.
So let it be written. So let it be done.
Yeah.
Make it so.
So where do we start?
Engage.
Where do we start? I mean, I think we've said a lot about it, so now we just talk details, I guess. Chuck, how do you feel about any characters?
Well,